Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. DOJ RealPage settlement. Why landlords never succeed at collusion. U.S. Justice Department cut off RealPage, sort of. They're putting an end to the sharing of competitively sensitive information, as well as alignment of pricing among competitors. RealPage is a real estate software company, right? The U.S. Department of Justice alleged RealPage facilitated collusion among landlords. What? RealPage's algorithm allowed competing landlords to share non-public rent and occupancy data, and then effectively collude to keep rents above competitive levels. As of Monday, November 24th, 2025, they reached a settlement. It's a settlement without admission of guilt. What does that mean? Let me reveal this hidden secret to you live right now. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media. Before you keep watching, let me tell you who this is not for. This show is not for you if you take yourself too seriously. If you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover accurate truth for yourself. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of the universe. It's the only podcast of its kind right now on this subject going live on X. Therefore, the most popular live stream podcast live right now on this subject going live on X. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help investors like you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. Today on HSRL. Ladies and gentlemen, it used to be if landlords colluded, they met in a smoky room. You know, they all told jokes about the tenants, clinked whiskey glasses. Now it's a computer algorithm. They don't even have to hang out. It's like cartel as a service. If you're in multifamily real estate, you've heard of RealPage. It's a software company for landlords, right? They got slapped with a settlement on Monday. The Department of Justice says that RealPage helped landlords collude. RealPage let competing landlords share private rent data through its algorithm. You know what's funny about that? They called it an algorithm. An algorithm. Like it's some mysterious AI nobody could understand. It's not an algorithm. It's a group chat. It's a WhatsApp group for landlords. Hey guys, what are we charging for a studio with black mold this month? I'm thinking $2,400. Perfect. Me too. Guys, there's no artificial intelligence involved. That's artificial scarcity with a dashboard. So they could all hike up rents without fear of undercutting each other. Is this free market competition or what? They let this so-called algorithm whisper into your landlord's ear. Hey, buddy, your neighbor raised their rent by $50. Maybe you should too. RealPage is basically landlordsmeet.com. Swipe right. If the building across town went from 1500 to 1650, boom, you match. Now raise rent too. Except instead of love, it's only price gouging. Graystar Real Estate Partners is like, I'd love to lower rents, but sorry, Skynet told me to jack them up. Landlords can always claim, hey, I didn't do it. My software told me to. So RealPage settled with the DOJ. No fine, no admission of guilt. It's like getting pulled over doing 90 in a school zone, and the cop goes, just promise you'll slow down eventually when you feel like it. Can you believe they settled without admitting guilt? That's exactly what big landlord companies like Graystar Real Estate Partners would do. Even when caught red-handed, they're like, we didn't do it, but we'll stop doing it. It's like your kid with chocolate all over his face going, I didn't eat the cookies, but I won't eat them anymore. Let's get real for a minute. Raising rents is the business model. The issue is that these landlords had been fixing rent prices. In a free market, rent prices fluctuate based on supply and demand. You know what this reminds me of? You ever notice how when regular people share information about their salaries, companies call it creating a hostile work environment? But when landlords share information about rent prices through a centralized software system, it's called a data analytics platform. Funny how that works. These big landlords who use RealPage, you know what they're doing? They're in a group chat discussing uh, I can't talk really. Okay, they're in this group chat discussing best practices for keeping rents above competitive levels, which is a beautiful phrase, by the way, above competitive levels. That's like saying, I'm not punching you in the face. I'm introducing my fist to your nose at above friendly velocities. The settlement says they have to stop sharing competitively sensitive information. You know what that means? It means for years they were sharing information so sensitive that even the government was like, okay, this is getting weird. And they still didn't get fined. The DOJ is still suing the landlords who used the software. So RealPage gets off clean, but the landlords are still on the hook. The thing is, landlords are always on the hook. That's how it goes. When the toilet backs up, who do you call? There's no software to fix your plumbing, only software to fix rent prices. So, congratulations to RealPage. They managed to create the first ever software cartel. Collusion without the cigars, without the secret meetings. All it takes is a couple of lines of code and a subscription fee. That's my time. I got to get back to work. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Share this, retweet on X, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify. You're allowed to make fun of me, only if your jokes are funny and you get my name right. Any insults must be contained to Spotify, and you must be following HSRL on Spotify. Make sure you follow before sending any insults. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can always visit my X profile to learn more. It's not necessary to follow me on X, but now you can follow at Safe New Media on X. Follow Safe New Media on X. Whatever you decide, team up with me to bring about serious advancement for each other. The plan is for our community to share with each other the systems, the processes, and workflows that we are successfully using in order to help each other grow. That's why I invite you to belong higher, join our inner circle on Telegram. It's free. There's a link to it at the top of the Safe New Media X profile. The official source for this show is safenewmedia.com/HSRL. I want to give loyal listeners of this podcast something free gift for you if you want to start a podcast but feel imposter syndrome. You can get your copy of the Anti-Imposter Podcast Starter Kit at safenew.media. That's safenew.media. Get your Anti-Imposter Podcast Starter Kit at safenew.media. What I'm about to tell you next will shock you.
This is not an offer, solicitation of an offer to buy or sell securities. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Investing involves risk and may result in partial or total loss. Prospective investors should carefully consider investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and should consult with a tax or legal advisor before making any investment decision.
Today, owning a home now costs $52K more per year than renting. Families are stuck as forever renters. We're seizing this shift, buying 100 plus unit assets in growth markets. Few get in. Why? We don't need more money. We're looking for investors aligned with our values. Someone asked me what I mean when I say that. There's no shortage of money. It's everywhere. There are trillions of dollars in circulation. Money is the biggest commodity there is. But you know what's scarce? People you can trust. We're improving quality of life at scale for hardworking families. Secure your place on our wait list. Today, go to inveresta.com. You can now subscribe to our newsletter. That secures your place. You can now receive your free guide. It's called Location Science 2026. 5 filters to find growth markets for multifamily real estate. Don't ignore the data before you invest. When you subscribe, you secure your place on our waitlist for the next opportunity. Most real estate people tell you to invest in your backyard. What if your backyard is the wrong location? Avoid losing money in the wrong location. Hit me up on our X profile at Inveresta. Retail investors can send me a DM there to let me know what kind of investment opportunities you are looking for. Accredited investors can get in touch with me today. Call my office, go to inveresta.com. Accredited investors only. This is not an offer or solicitation to the general public. Last thing before I let you guys go, Methods of Prosperity is the newsletter that I write every week. You owe it to yourself to be rich. Society, our parents, teachers, and peers have conditioned us. They want us to be like them. They need us to comply. They need us to be conventional like they are. As Herb Kelleher, co-founder and CEO of Southwest Airlines, remarked, all the people that were telling me those things were expressing conventional wisdom. And if it's conventional, it ain't wisdom. And if it's wisdom, it ain't conventional. My name is Sean Allen Fenn, and I'm obsessed with prosperity. This is the natural state of the human spirit. It turns out there's no limit. There's also many variables. Some keep their day job, while others go all in. Some are entrepreneurs, while others are value investors. But all of them have a certain mindset. Understanding what makes them tick grants us insight into our own journey. Methods of Prosperity newsletter is for anyone who agrees that success leaves clues. It's the most popular newsletter to brainwash yourself rich. Go to safenewmedia.com/newsletter. To become a billionaire, one must first be conditioned to think like a billionaire. You can now subscribe for free at safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Thanks for making this the most popular live stream at this hour on this subject, broadcasting live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, unconventional, diversified global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, moi, yours truly. I like you, but don't take my word for it. Decide for yourself.